Welcome to Friends of Rosey. This is Cath.
This is Alex.
And Alex just said that they really wish they had one of those unfurling things that you blow on New Year so we can be like, Happy New Year, even though it's almost March.
Because we haven't done a podcast yet.
1, 2, 3, Happy New Year! Alex meant it more than me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry it's been so long, but we've been moving stuff in the shop, as a lot of you know, but it's all done basically, and it feels really good. And we've been
me knocking on wood. That it's all done.
It has to be all done. But I do apologise because we've been talking about doing this for ages, and I've just finished work, and I'm a little bit...
It's literally almost March. And I think, we're just both... We need to just break the ice. We need to get back into it.
I know, but I'm a bit overtired and silly, which could make this fun or annoying.
Great. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We don't have that many people we're trying to impress. I was thinking about it, and I was like, if we were doing a serious podcast and we just took 2 months off for no reason, like all the momentum is gone. We have our careers are like done and dusted, dead in the ditch. But I just don't think there's much at stake here, to be honest.
Well, I hope everyone still loves us. Well, and today is a special edition. Well, we're going to be talking about. I'll just do it.
I can't sing.
Here's a hint. It's me, I'm Kathy. I've come home.
Let me into your window.
Wuthering Heights. In case you couldn't tell. I think it was pretty clear.
It was obvious.
So context, I read it when I was like maybe 19 or 20.
You started it.
And I did not finish it.
Yeah.
Because someone, like a singer that I really liked, said, I read it every Christmas. So I thought it was like a cheery, love, cozy, Christmas novel. And then I was like, what is this? And then for years, it's been the hill I have chose to die on. I hate Wuthering Heights. I will never read it, blah, blah, blah.
It really was your hill.
Oh, it really was. And
any opportunity you'd be talking about.
I've apologised to Kate O'Neill. I'm the first, because there was a book club discussion where I was like, you're wrong. I was wrong. That. I was wrong. Wuthering Heights is really good. It is dark and it is depressing and it is twisted and it's... I really, really like it. So there will probably be spoilers, but we can talk about it generally. If you haven't read it, genuinely, I think it's good. But go in knowing it's dark and twisted.
Yeah.
And
I think if you haven't read it, don't listen to this and just go read it first and then come back, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a 200-year-old book, but I thought I knew kind of what it was about. Yeah, well, almost. I thought I knew, roughly what it was about, and I didn't. Like, there were so many things I didn't know, and it was such a, delight discovering them, even though it's this very old book for myself. It was really so great. Good. So I feel like if you can avoid spoilers, which does sound silly, but if you can avoid spoilers, then do. Yeah.
I knew that there was someone called Heathcliff and someone called Kathy, and that they were Moors. Well, and we read the book because the movie came out, which was terrible.
We have different feelings on
but we can talk about that.
All right. But it's a book podcast, not a film podcast. So 200
Years Old by Emily Bronte. When I moved here, I said, let's go to Bronte Beach. And everyone laughed at me because it's spelt the same. I mean, it doesn't have the
But I don't even think it's Bronte. I think it's Bronte.
Emily Bronte, Charlotte Bronte.
They're not French. I think it's
But
Bronte.
what's that? There's a little...
Well, an umlaut wouldn't even... I don't know
German.
what an umlaut over an E does, do you? It probably doesn't do the same thing it does over an O.
You just have to say it a bit more gruntingly, I think. Gruntingly is a word now, also.
I also think I remember reading somewhere that the Bronte sisters' father, it was originally a slightly different name, and that was how he kind of formalized it, as he changed the spelling. So it sounded like Bronte, but he changed it to make it fancier.
I should do that with my name. Just be, put an umlaut on top of the E or something.
You'd be like CEL and do a little fancy flick over something, Yeah.
But
anyway.
But I'm Kathy! That's my fancy thing. And I knew the song was called Wuthering Heights, but I never actually listened to the words. And it's pretty spot on.
It's a really good... I've been listening to it a lot, actually.
Alex, this is true. Alex has been listening to it a lot.
Kath can attest to that. I've been listening to it a lot.
Dancing around the house.
I can't attest to that. But it's a really great, adaptation. And apparently Kate Bush hadn't even read the novel in full. And it's just she just really captures the essence and the tone and the madness of Kathy and Heathcliff, I feel like. It's a great song.
I agree. It is very good. I thought we could start with me reading my notes that I wrote as I read it.
Not that you can probably tell, but we rarely have notes for these episodes. They're kind of just off the cuff. So this is a bit of a treat.
I'm mostly reading them to you because they're hilarious. So the dot points. One is sauciness. They use the word sauciness a lot. Like the amount of times they're like, "Oh,
Kathy's very saucy."
Kathy is saucy, but I don't think they mean it as in like. Because saucy these days, it's kind of a little bit slutty. It's a little bit like naughty. It's a little bit...
And it's also sort of archaic. Like you wouldn't really... Like it's something that your grandma would say. Like it is not... Yeah, it is not something that like...
But in the book, it just means she's sort of got an attitude, right? Like, she's a saucy child.
Yeah, it's almost like sassy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My next bullet point was ejaculation. Because they use that word so much.
They're ejaculating left and right.
All over the place.
Yeah.
I thought that was really funny. Like, because
I've come across it in classics before. So
not
I think,
this much. Like, they used it a lot.
But I just mean, I think I've had my moment of being like, haha, gee, they're ejaculating. And now I just sort of...
said too.
What?
That you've come across it before. I'm sorry, everyone.
I just have sort of had my, like, giggle over it, you know, and now in my head when I read it, it really just does just feel like, oh, well, they're just, you know, bursting forth into speech. Like, that's how it feels.
I know that's what it means.
I know you know that's what it means, but I
felt
mean,
like they used it a lot of times when they didn't.
But what I mean is
it
doesn't even register that it has another meaning for me now when I read it in a book.
That's fair. It's because you're
it's taken me a while to get there. It's
saucy lass.
Yeah.
Incest cousins marrying each other. There's so much incest in this book.
Well...
Oh, I knew you were going to say this. It doesn't count as incest if they're cousins. Yes, it does. Like, everyone marries each other's cousins, basically.
But that wasn't totally uncommon for the time. And that hasn't been uncommon for most of human history. Like, you lived in small villages and you probably would marry your second or first cousin.
But I guess my point is you love books that have incest in them. And
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. No? I've loved one book that had incest in it.
Two?
What are the
two?
McEwen? Yeah, The Cement Garden. I loved that. That was what I was thinking of.
Oh, at book club, there were a few, and we were like...
Oh, well, if you can't remember them...
Yeah, all right, I tell you back. Then my final note is Heathcliff calling her a slut. He just calls her a slut all the time. Like, and she's not doing anything slutty.
Yeah.
Like, it's such an interesting use of language. Like, he's using the word slut. I wish I'd written down, and like, I remember once, and it was so funny, and I stopped and laughed.
I love that these were your notes, and I stopped to like take pictures of the quotes that I found really beautiful. I don't,
and I'm like, you know, incest of cousins. He called her
like I cannot live without my love. I cannot live without my life. And,
without my soul.
Yeah, exactly.
What I'm quoting there is the Cliff Richard version where he plays Heathcliff, and it's a musical, and it's terrible. Anyway,
we've gone deep down the Wuthering rabbit hole.
We really have. We've watched a couple of adaptations. So for people who haven't read it, and we're still not really spoiling it, essentially it's in the moors of England.
Yeah.
Which the movie made it look really great and fun. But it's just deep and dark and depressing and grey, and it rains a lot. And there's a family, they don't have heaps of money. It starts with them being young. And the father, who's an alcoholic, comes home from the pub drunk, and he's like, look, I've got this kid. No one was there for him.
No, he comes back from a trip from Liverpool. Like, he's not...
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. And he's brought home this boy, Heathcliff, and he lives with them, and it kind of follows their journeys. And I think most people know a little bit, but I guess it's a spoiler. Heathcliff is just this most incredible villain. He turns into this horrible, spiteful, like twisted, like and calculating twisted.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to say what I mean. Like, I don't think I've ever, like, I've read books with villains, but his hatred and his spite and his malice is a new level that I was gonna say I enjoyed it, which sounds a bit weird, but it's a love story, but it's also a hate story.
It's incredibly compelling.
It is, and it's kind of he hates. Well, I mean, now we're at spoilers, but he hates Catherine. He loves Catherine. He wants to give her everything, but he wants her to have nothing because he can't. Like, it's
because
just
he
this.
Can't have her.
Yeah, and the things he does to make her jealous, but he still loves her and would do anything for her. But then he won't do anything for her, and he wishes the worst for her. Like, it's quite. It's so dark, and I found it disappointing in the two movies we watched. The next one was the 2011 one.
Yeah, directed by Andrea Arnold, I think her name is.
Yeah, they just made him seem a bit like... jealous and spiteful, but, you know, not really.
I think
like, he's awful.
I think the issue is, and this is how I felt reading the book, Heathcliff, you kind of know, because of the nested narratives, right? You start at the beginning, and the framing is that Heathcliff now has a tenant who's living in Thrushcross Grange, which is the house across from Wuthering Heights, called Lockwood. And so you already know, because of Lockwood's interactions with Heathcliff, that he's become bitter and twisted and kind of evil. You don't know the full extent of it, but you know that he's a horrible person.
And so is everyone in the household. Yeah.
Yeah, but for the first half of the novel, when it's really about his childhood, Kathy's childhood, their like young love, and then the kind of rupture in, like, I won't say too much about what it is, but the rupture in their relationship, I felt a huge amount of empathy for him. I was texting Cath Dobby, and I was going like, I don't understand, like, everyone says that Heathcliff is awful, and, you know, maybe I'm just not there yet, I'm worried about what's going to happen. I was saying that to you. And then in the second half,
childhood, he's like, he's been clearly beaten and abused before he even comes to this family.
Absolutely. But then in the second half is where you really see his kind of development as the villain that people now know him as. But in both the movies we watched, they only adapted the first half. So it's kind of hard to do justice to him as a villain when you're not actually going into the part of the timeline that makes him one, you know? Like, because in the beginning, he's not irredeemable. Like, I think by the end, he's made himself that way.
You feel sorry for him, and you think, well, of course he's going to turn out badly. Like, if you're treated that way, you would be bitter, you would be this. But I think the second half of the book was the best part. Like, they built it up beautifully, but the second half I was like, what? What? Like, I really loved the beginning with him and Kathy, like I did, because I really felt the kind of like twisted, toxic romance. I really enjoyed that. But it like just kicks into gear in the second half. Like, it becomes much more like this psychological drama thriller. There's like really very little romance elements. Like, it's so good. It's so good. And I think it's interesting too, knowing that he's an awful person and then looking back and going, okay, what makes him this? And you sort of, you know, I think it's quite well known, you know, that if children torture animals, that's often a sign that they might, you know, have psychopathic behaviour, or they're, you know, there's something going on there. And so I was like, oh, well, that could cause it, and you were kind of looking for all these signs. Well, you know, and Catherine, or Kathy too, every time now I'm like, Kathy! Like, the way she, like, would pinch him and be cruel, but she kind of, it was like, oh, well, she's a child, you know, and, like, she knows what she's doing, but also, you know, her brain isn't fully developed, she's isolated, she has this, you know, dickhead brother, drunk father.
I think one scene, so we're talking about spoilers?
I think we have to spoil.
Okay, so this is definitely a spoiler, but one scene that I think really set up the, like, kind of really balanced that nature versus nurture theme for me was when there's a part in the book where Kathy's, like, biological brother, whose name
Earnshaw.
But what Earnshaw? What's his first name? Edgar? No.
Edgar, Edgar.
No,
Edgar's the dad.
Oh my God, why
Isn't
can't
it
I
Linton?
remember? No.
Where's
Linton
the
is
comic
who
when
she
you need
marries.
it?
Oh my God. This is really annoying me. Anyway, we'll come back to it.
I've got the book in front of me. Sorry.
You've probably got like a family tree, have you?
No, which would have been good.
That's
actually.
the thing, because all the characters, particularly when you get to the Hindley. Oh my God, thank you. I was thinking Hareton, but that's his son. So Hindley Earnshaw is Catherine's brother, and there's this scene where their father gives them 2 horses, like brings home 2 horses and allows Heathcliff and Hindley to choose which one they want. And Heathcliff chooses one, and it turns out that his horse is lame. And then
that's not that bad. It's okay.
And then he turns around and he says to Hindley, he's sort of. And I think the second adaptation that we watched actually portrayed this scene really well, but he, like, shows, you know, his scars and his bruises that Hindley's been inflicting upon him.
It's like all up his arm.
It's all up his arm. And he goes, you know, if you don't swap horses with me, I'll tell. And I feel like that there's, like, 2 things happening there, which is, like, yes, we can see that he's being mistreated, but also rather than sort of, I don't know, like, not that there's an honourable way to be abused, but he sees that it's this tool that he can use to manipulate people around him, sort of thing.
But
like, he's aware
that he hasn't said anything, or he's just put up with it wordlessly as well, which is interesting. That's the moment he uses it.
Yeah, and I feel like
Catherine's
you can kind of see
hurting him too.
Yeah, and I feel like that scene, I don't know, it just, to me, it felt so well done because you could kind of see this seed of like this manipulator and this, you know, even though, yes, he's been wronged, like the way that he's sort of twisting it and using it to get exactly what he wants, without having to sort of tell anyone else about it and kind of holding that power over Hindley, like, and the fact that he can wield that power over Hindley rather than running off and telling like Daddy, like, you know, I think that would kind of lessen the power that he holds for him going off and getting like an authority figure. Yeah. So I just thought there were so many, like, she just is so
well
clever.
Thought out, hey?
Yeah, such a brilliant, like, it makes me so sad that was apparently
her only book.
I know, and apparently she was working on a second one when she died. There's correspondence between her and her editor or something.
Yeah, publisher, and they were saying, let's not do it yet.
Yeah.
It's... Oh, there is a genealogical table. Oh, see, I just skipped all that because I was like, I can't believe I have to read Wuthering Heights. I hate this. Why did I promise to do this?
Cath was mad about all the, like, bonus features in her book.
I was like, oh, look, and it tells you...
Meanwhile, my book... Should I tell the anecdote about my book?
Oh, you definitely should.
Okay. So I apologise because I'm pretty sure some people who are listening to this will have heard this before. I have told this story a number of times, but I just think it's hilarious. So I've had my copy of Wuthering Heights since I was 11 or 12. When I bought it in the like Scholastic Book Club catalogue, I ordered it. And the reason I ordered it, it has this really dark, moody cover. It's got a white crocus on the front. It's got red accents. And it has a little sticker that says Bella and Edward's favourite book or Bella and Edward's favourite love story. And so I bought it because I thought it would be like Twilight. And I started reading it at 11 or 12 and I didn't get very far because I was like, this is just nothing like Twilight and I don't want it. So, yeah.
But, I mean, there was sauciness and sluts.
I have to say also Twilight. It's such a misrepresentation because Edward fucking hates the characters in Wuthering Heights. He talks about that a lot in the book. He's like, they're terrible people. And Bella's like, well, that's the point. Now I'm just talking about Twilight, but...
It's classic you. Like, let's go back to Twilight.
All roads lead back to Twilight.
It's such a shame that... Because all of them died quite young, didn't they? Like, because they all wrote, so...
The Brontes.
So it's Emily and Charlotte and Anne, right? And they wrote, which is Wuthering Heights, Agnes Grey, and The Professor by Charlotte. So Charlotte isn't...
Charlotte Bronte wrote Jane Eyre.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going to read next. Because, again, I put that off because I was like, oh, stupid.
Nah, I'm keen to read Jane Eyre.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I feel like, I mean, we always have more to say. But I'm also hesitant to make this return podcast too long. We'll definitely do one soon that's like what we've been reading. But Wuthering Heights was a big deal for us this year.
It was.
Yeah.
If you're interested to see the movie, just don't even think that it's anything like Wuthering Heights and then just see it as that.
Because if you understand that movies are, you know, creative interpretations by directors that don't have to be true to the source material 100%, then you might go into it and you might really enjoy it. A movie
inspired by Wuthering Heights makes sense.
It's got Wuthering Heights in quotation marks on the title card.
Oh, come on. What
are you talking about?
It has nothing, like half of it.
It's so not true that it has nothing to do. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it.
They've named the characters the same. It's just so... No. It wasn't a bad movie, but it was nothing like Wuthering Heights.
Such a stick in the mud, bruv.
I'm not a stick in the mud. I just think...
It looked amazing. The soundtrack was amazing.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
The beginning was... I was into it, and I was like, okay, cool adaptation. But it made Heathcliff just look a bit spiteful, and that's it.
I don't think that's true. I think he did come across as cool, but this is what I said before about... adapting the first half only, which everyone else has done. Yeah, like, that's what most other adaptations
20 minutes
have done.
Of scenes of them having sex in the moors.
It was not 20 minutes of scenes.
Were you typing?
It was like a 5-minute montage. Yeah, it wasn't long enough for me.
5-minute montage of them having sex. They don't even have sex in the book. Like,
you don't know if they... Listen, they don't have sex on page in the book because Nellie's narrating. Like, was Nellie with them every second that they were out on the moors? They could well have had sex. You don't know that. And Emerald Fennell, the director, has been very open from the very beginning and in all the marketing that this is her sort of fantastical interpretation of Wuthering Heights. It's a fantasy. If you don't like it, if you don't buy into the fantasy, if you don't share her fantasy, then you're not going to like it. But that doesn't invalidate it as a work of art.
I was with it until the last half an hour because I was like, okay, you know, it's her adaptation, but it just... it took away from Wuthering Heights. Like, I think I don't know. I actually wonder if anyone could really do this book justice because it is so messed up. I kind of think
it's a bit unfilmable.
I wonder that.
Or if they did like a mini-series or something where they could really take the time.
There has been a mini-series.
Maybe, the one with Andrew Lincoln.
Yeah. Coral. We should watch it because I think if someone really delved into it, just how twisted and dark it was. I mean, if you can...
But I just think that's the magic of a book as opposed to a show, right? I mean, you couldn't even... It would be very difficult to portray the cruelty that goes on in the book in an ethical way on screen.
Yeah.
You know, like, or in a palatable way, like in a way that audiences would be able to kind of watch and get anything out of. Like, I think it would kind of just be...
What
torturous.
Dumbed down. And it's a shame, and I feel like all the adaptations have been dumbed down. And
I don't think it's like a conscious effort to dumb them down, but the novel just has so much complexity. Like, it's really hard to do that on the screen.
Just leave it alone then. Don't make it... I don't know. Maybe I am a purist, but
you are very much a purist. She also hated... you didn't hate, but you were not happy with the Frankenstein... Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein adaptation.
That was more like Frankenstein than this was like Wuthering Heights. Like, anyway, that's a whole thing.
We're just going to have to agree to disagree.
We tell these guys that we got in a fight, an actual fight, where I had to go and calm down because I was like, Frankenstein is the real monster.
We must have talked about it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Thank you for your patience, and I'm sorry this has taken so long. As Alex said, we'll definitely talk about what we've been reading. I've read some good ones, some not so good ones.
I've read some really good stuff so far this year. I'm having a much better run than I did in 2025.
Yeah, so that's true. You had a few dubs in a row.
I had a shit time at the very beginning of 2025.
I'm keen to read Jane Eyre as well. We'll see if it's as good, but
yeah,
we shall see.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.